Welcome back to another segment of Newshound India Foundation's Predators of Press Freedom series. Today's segment will talk about China's Xi Jinping conduct and its brutal crackdown in curbing the voice of the press. China's capital Beijing has been ranked at 177 out of 180 countries in the 2020 World Press Freedom Index compiled by Reporters Without Borders. It continues to remain at the same position as it was in 2019. China has one of the world's most restrictive media environments, following the censorship model to control information in the news, online, and on social media provided by journalists and bloggers. In February of 2016, Chinese President Xi Jinping made visits to three well-known state media organizations in Beijing, stating to the editors and journalists that their work must reflect total loyalty to the party. The move was followed by the public backlash that was itself then censored.
你们好，
总书记好。
Good morning, President Xi.
我看到你们这是一国际化的一团队，希望你们能够客观、真实、全面的介绍中国经济社会的发展情况。这个要讲好中国故事，我们呢也要传播中国文化，搭建我们与这个所在地区的这种友好的友谊的桥梁，相信你们的工作会越做越好。
谢谢总书记。
In the summer of 2016, the editorial team of Yan Wang Chunqiu proclaimed that they would cease publication after the authorities replaced them with a new team who would endorse Xi Jinping's political ideals. Xi Jinping's government has been using libel lawsuits, arrests, and other means to persuade Chinese journalists and media organizations to censor themselves. Censorship guidelines are circulated weekly from the Communist Party's propaganda department and the government's Bureau of Internet Affairs to leading editors and media providers. The law, the courts, and the police have all become stricter in the last 6 years since the control taken by Xi Jinping. In 2013, the Supreme People's Court increased penalties for posts that are defamatory or containing false information. 2 years later, it became illegal to post fabricated content about natural disasters, emergencies, or any reports of danger, encouraging citizens to closely stick to the government's narrative on major events. In 2017, a new law made it illegal to endanger the honor or interests of the state. China is the world's biggest jailers of journalists. 38 journalists were imprisoned in China in 2017, 47 in 2018, 48 in 2019 under President Xi Jinping. Among more than 144 journalists who are behind bars, over 100 journalists and bloggers are currently detained in conditions that pose a threat to their lives. The websites of Bloomberg News Service, the New York Times, and other major international publications have periodically been blacked out, and visa applications were denied to their journalists. In March this year, the Beijing regime banished 13 journalists working for the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal, while at the same time orchestrating a global disinformation campaign structured to drown out critics who blame its censorship for the spread of the novel coronavirus. Since the mid-1970s, it is an unprecedented scenario that there are no accredited Australian media journalists based in China. China has not issued new visas for journalists from the ABC and 9 newspapers. Under the stringent internet regulations, members of the public can now be jailed for the comments they post on news pieces on social media or messaging services, or even just for sharing content. China, which is trying to promote a new world media order, maintains its system of information hyper-control, of which the adverse effects for the entire world have been witnessed during the coronavirus public health crisis. The contemporary state of media outlets and journalists paint an even bleaker picture of media clampdown in China under the presidency of Xi Jinping. I am student journalist Garvit Bhirani, and we will be back with another episode next week. Stay safe, stay indoors.